It started when I first said yes. That feeling of, what have I got myself into? Martha's a good friend of mine, though, and she says I'll love it and it'll change my life. Can't help wondering why everybody else she's asked has said no, though. And why won't she tell me where it is? What's all this secret about? Well, I can always call off sick at the last minute, I suppose, and since I've paid nothing, I don't have to lose anything. But I've had a hard time facing Martha and looking her in the eyes. She probably had to pay for me, and she doesn't make very much money either. Besides, she seems so excited that I'm going. I hate to let her down. I don't know what I'm going to pack, though. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to look shabby. What if they're all dressed up? What if they're all like these zombies of God? What if they have this plastered smile on their hair's perfect, their teeth's perfect, their house is spotless, their husband's wonderful, their kids never cause them an ounce of stress? What have I got myself into? Oh, well, I better pack my makeup, my shirt that makes me look skinny, my pants that make me look skinny. Oh, and I better pack some snacks because they're probably going to feed us tofu and steamed vegetables. Mother arrived to pick me up, and we drove to this church. People all there seemed very nice. Although when they called my name to get on the bus, they started clapping and screaming like it was a graduation ceremony or something. Well, bus seemed to drive forever too, and then when it finally stopped, we arrived at another church. Of course, by now I had no idea where we were, but it was too late to turn back now. So everybody there seemed so excited. Was I the only scared one there? I tried to pull myself together and act excited for everyone around me. We had some sandwiches, and then we got to pick out and make our beds. I picked out a nice sturdy one in the corner away from the door. Imagine my surprise when I was told that would not be my bed. I'm not happy about this. Things aren't going the way I thought they would. Am I the only one upset by this? Huh, to make matters worse, they tell me I can't talk until after chapel in the morning. This is crap. If I had anyone to talk to, I would. But since I don't know anybody here, it just makes it that much easier. We went to chapel, and I was reminded why I was there. To learn more about Jesus. I brushed my teeth in silence, thinking about Jesus, all these strange women, the weekend ahead of me. I laid in bed wondering if I'd made a mistake in coming. I felt anxious, totally alone. The next morning when we went to chapel, we had communion. It's been a long time since I'd had communion. I looked around and there was banners from all these other weekends. And there was a crucifix hanging in the front, in the middle. I started to get a little uncomfortable. I know I came to learn more about Jesus, but this is pretty heavy stuff. But then they made us sing some stupid chicken song before we could even eat. And after breakfast, school started. Please write this down. Are you kidding me? This is supposed to be a retreat. No one said anything about note-taking, but they've shoved this notebook and pen in front of me and everybody else is doing it, so I guess I have to. Then the women started to share their lives in their speeches. I can't believe she'd tell us that. I've never told anyone I did that too. I thought she had it all together. I thought she was better than me. Then the next one came, and her story was even worse. I looked around, and women were crying and shaking their heads and holding hands. I felt totally alone. But at break, women would talk to me. They didn't make me talk about things I didn't want to or make me feel uncomfortable. They just befriended me. The talks continued. The tears continued. And then the pastor got up to talk. I can't believe what I'm hearing. I can't believe he'd tell us that. I can't believe he's a pastor. But what I really can't believe is that he's telling my story. All the shame and pain that I'd locked deep inside came rushing forward. My heart was pounding so loud in my head, I could hardly hear, and my chest was aching. But he kept talking, and I kept crying. And someone handed me some Kleenex. Someone touched my shoulder. Someone squeezed my hand. And there, in that moment, for the first time in my life, I knew I wasn't alone. God loved me. And he was using all these people and these women around me to show me he loved me. He was cutting that cancer out from inside me and letting it free. No wonder I'd been so lonely. I carefully locked it deep inside. All these years I was afraid of the shame, but it took a big piece of me with it. And now the doors had been opened wide. I thought about the pastor and how much courage it was taking him to tell us these things. And I cried even harder. I'm such a coward. How could God even look at me and not be disgusted? I heard a whisper. Shh. I love you. My mind rebelled and silently I screamed, I'm a hideous monster. I'm full of sin. I'm disgusting. But again, the whisper. Shh. I love you. I don't know what you're talking about. You're beautiful. I closed my eyes and I prayed, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. The weekend ended and I was drained, but empowered. Martha was there to pick me up. Somehow, she looked different. Everything looked different. Since everything couldn't have changed over one weekend, I realized it must have been me. Who would have thought one weekend could make so much difference? And now, I have a charge. Jesus has given me a charge. He needs my help for this world, for my world. He's counting on me. And now I know it's finally real to me. And Martha looked at me with knowing eyes. I finally understood God's unfathomable, unexplainable, undeserving, never-ending, never-changing love for me. And now I need to share it. Well, I guess it's a good thing I got that notebook and the Bible. Gosh, there's so many stories I have to read I haven't heard about.